I was actually talking with an entering 1L right before this conversation, and she was saying how she's concerned that law school study groups, like, of course, law school itself, people talk about the Zoom school of law, where everything's online through Zoom, and the professors have the paid Zoom accounts like what we're using now to be able to hold a large group meeting. That's more than 40 minutes, theoretically, when free Zoom accounts can't do that. So not every law student's going to go get a paid Zoom account to have all the features. How are law students going to run study groups of more than 2 people? Have they talked about that at all?
I'm not concerned about study groups at all. You can just tie 40 minutes together. You can, I bet that some law schools will include students in their Zoom subscription. And I bet there are lots of other great tech minds coming up with all sorts of other solutions about how we can be virtually in person. I've actually heard of people like meeting in video games and doing other activities. So the study group experience, might be via Zoom, but it can totally continue. And actually being able to share a screen or share a Google document in real time is the kind of use of technology that is enhanced when we use Zoom. So I'm not concerned about that at all. I'm sorry, I lost the track of the other half of the question that you asked.
No, it's okay. I think I was really just focused on the law student experience, being online, talking about study groups and in general, socializing. I'm concerned about like the random things, like the person sitting next to you in class and facilitating connections between students, not really happening when you're in an online setting where it's professor and students, and the student might ask a question to the professor, but students aren't going to be joking with each other in the same way where law school's like high school and you actually have that going on.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So let me make 2 points about that. One is, so Mitchell Hamlin has what we call the blended program, where it's a mostly online program. We launched this 5 years ago, I guess. So we're the only school that has actually graduated students and had them pass the bar through this mostly online program. So one of the points that I want to make about that is that the bonds that those students form with one another are more intense than the bonds that I see between my students who are in sort of my regular law school class. They form Facebook groups, they are texting the people that they're closest to, even though they live in all different states, those bonds, even without actually being in the same airspace. The other one, though, is that we maybe do have to be more intentional about both forming those bonds and just being part of the classroom community. One of the risks of being an online learner is that it's easier to just sort of drop out and not pay attention, right? As a teacher, I think of it as like, I can't necessarily look at you and see that you're sleeping or, not nodding along, whatever. And so in some sense, online law students need to step up to the plate and even more than your regular law student does. Like when I talk about law student success, I say, you've got to not just receive what you're given, but actually seize the opportunity, look for where you fit in the profession, ask to meet with people, engage with the material, right? That kind of active learning comes from both the professor and from the student.
Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.